Hello and welcome to Halfway to Nowhere. My name's Ben, and today we start behind what I believe is a genuine Lancia Delta, one of the few interesting cars that I saw on the way to Ladybower Reservoir. Apologies in advance for the audio on this video. I'm trying different microphone positioning, and clearly having a wireless mic clipped onto my tailbag's not going to get me a BAFTA for best sound anytime soon. Ladybower is sandwiched between Sheffield to the east and Glossop to the west in an area known as the Hope Valley within the Peak District in the North Midlands. Anyone who has kids will be able to tell you there's always ice cream vans wherever you go. You can be in the middle of nowhere, but you can guarantee you'll find at least one, but to have two parked next to each other on a random lay-by is just cruel. Let's cross the traffic light control bridge into Grindleford, not a house from a Harry Potter universe, but instead a village in the Hope Valley. Grindleford is home to two sports teams, the creatively named Grindleford Football Club and Grindleford Cricket Club. As of the last census, 909 people called Grindleford home. Highlights include a 17th century bridge that I just crossed and Padley Chapel. The chapel is now in ruins, but in the 1500s 2 Catholic priests were discovered in hiding before being hung, drawn and quartered 2 weeks later in Derby. They became known as the Padley Martyrs, and the chapel became a pilgrimage site. Safe to say, Bamford being a Peak District village with some industrial heritage, that it's had its own mill. We've since been converted to flats though, so the whole milling thing must be dead in the water. Speaking of which, the village graveyard contains reinterred remains of villagers from Derwent and Ashopton, which were intentionally flooded as part of the construction of the Ladybower Reservoir. You can see Ladybower to the left here. I came back a few weeks after recording this with Mrs. Halfway as she wanted to have a look around herself, so here's some footage of that. You can see here one of the spillways, there are two, known locally as a plug hole. They act in much the same way as that little hole above a plug on your sink. If a sink, or reservoir in this case, gets too full, then the water flows down the hole and then to the river below. There's a bit of a drought at the minute, so you can't see it in action, but it's ferocious when it's going. Picking up on Snake Road here, we turn to the approach for the Derwent Dam, which you can see on the right hand side. Derwent and Ladybower Reservoir and their respective dams were used as a training ground for the 617 DAMBUSTERS squadron during World War II. Allied pilots would practice releasing decoy bouncing bombs here, given the similarity to target dams in Germany. There's a 1955 film about the topic, replete with a rather problematically named squadron mascot. I was hoping to see the monument to the DAMBUSTERS, which was highlighted on Google Maps, but the road was closed and honestly, screw walking any real distance in motorbike boots. Instead I looped around and parked up. However, as mentioned, I did come back some weeks later and still didn't see the monument, as we elected to instead walk and see the lost villages. Oh, and here, have some ducks. I stopped at the cafe at the base of the Derwent Dam for a rest and got chatting to a few bikers there. It's the first time I've really spoken to any larger groups. They're all very nice and extremely insistent that I don't pay for parking. I guess if I start, then everyone else has got to start paying. After a very cheesy and reasonably priced panini and a coffee, I followed this guy out. It's funny how many people I see on sports bikes adopting this kind of one hand on the bars, sitting looking uncomfy position. A little bit more of Ladybower here on the return trip. Well, that's about all I've got time for today, but hey, here's a few interesting cars that I saw on the way, besides the Lancia Delta. No idea again. A new Renault 5 Electric, R33 Nissan Skyline, and a Mark II Golf GTI. Again, apologies about the sound. If anyone watching's got a better place to put a microphone, then let me know. I've tried this, I've tried clipping it to the handlebar stem, and I've tried in helmet, but I've not processed those yet, so I'll see how I get on. Until next time, safe travels, and if for some reason you enjoyed this, then feel free to drop a like or a subscribe.